Hello guys, what's going on? Today I'm gonna talk about, is it time for you to change your GPU? That's a nice question, right? So things you have to take into consideration are resolution, settings, frame rate, and cost. Let's start by the resolution. Okay, so check first things off. Okay, like check the resolution of your monitor. That's extremely important. Sometimes people just buy things and they don't know exactly what they're buying, so check the resolution of your monitor. So sometimes like maybe you're trying to run the game at 1080p and then your monitor is not 1080p, maybe 720p. So you don't need like to buy a GPU to run games at 1080p. It doesn't make any sense. You can choose something that can run the games at 720p. Okay, so other things that you have to take into consideration. Let's go for the next one is the settings. Okay, so the settings also are very important. So like, what settings are you comfortable with playing at? In my case, I'm pretty comfortable at playing games at high settings. I don't like to play games at medium settings or low settings. Like these things for me are just a no go. Okay, so I'd rather to play the games at lower frame rates but with higher settings. Okay, so frame rate is also something very cool for you to know what you're dealing with. So a cool program that you can use to check the FPS right on the screen is the gosh, I just forgot the name of this program. Oh, Fraps. Yeah, so Fraps is a very good program. Like it will not have any sort of impact on the performance of your system, and you can have pretty good idea what settings, I mean, like what frame rates you're getting with your GPU. Okay, so other thing that you have to take into consideration is how much you're willing to pay for your new GPU. Sometimes people like they want to have a very nice GPU to play 1080p, 6 frames per second, and they don't want to spend a lot of money on it. So it's kind of that's a no go. Okay, like if you want to play the games at very good settings, like let's say maxed out 1080p, 6 frames per second, so you're gonna need a very good GPU. So I'd say like you're gonna have to spend around like $300 to $400 at least. Okay, you can have like cheaper options, but then you're gonna have to turn down maybe your settings and maybe also expect lower frame rates. But you know what, like I don't care about 60 FPS all the time. Perfectly fine with 30 FPS. Let's say that it's very solid 30 FPS. It's very playable. A lot of people, okay, like don't try to go crazy on me and say a lot of bad things, but hey, let's be honest. 30 frames per second in my case, it's very playable. For some people, it's just okay, like they have to have 60 FPS. Okay, so other thing you have to take into consideration is what your CPU is. Okay, like if you want to have very good GPU, you're gonna have to have a very good CPU as well. Otherwise, you're gonna have the bottleneck effect, and that's not good. Okay, let's say like for example, you have a very good GPU, but your CPU is kind of old and it's not performing very well comparing to your GPU. So what's gonna happen is instead of you're getting the maximum performance out of your GPU, you're gonna have like an average performance, like let's say like your GPU will oscillate like between 60%. If that's happening, probably it's because your CPU is bottlenecking your GPU. So what you have to do, you're gonna have to change your CPU as well. So bear in mind that probably if you're gonna have to change your CPU, you're gonna have to change your motherboard too. Okay, and usually that's gonna go back to the factor of cost. Okay, so bear in mind that thing as well. Okay, so guys, I think I guess like I covered lots of things about GPUs and everything. So if you have any sort of ideas, if you have any other questions, so please leave in the comments down below. Please subscribe to my channel. That's gonna help me a lot. Okay, so see you next time. Bye bye.